Hi guys, Nicole here. I am the program director, and I just wanted to go over a couple of the processes that we have. One of the things that we heard from you in the survey was not quite understanding all of them, and I get it, there's a lot of them. First of all, a little background. We have two paid staff in Cause for Pause, and then our founder, who does mostly the thrift stores and a lot of volunteers. So, most of the time when you're emailing with somebody, you are emailing with a volunteer. So, please just keep that in mind while you're talking with them. They are taking their time out of their day to help you and your foster dog. So, let me explain to you first how foster dogs come in. We have a intake team who looks at dogs from shelters and um, in personal intakes, that kind of thing. And so the intakes team will see a cute dog right here and say, this might make a good Cause for Paws dog. They get videos of the dog interacting with other dogs and people, and they let the directors know that they're looking at this dog. Once the intake teams votes and says this is a good dog, they then work with the foster team to find a foster for that dog. Once the foster team finds a foster, they then work with the transport team to see about getting the dog, a cute dog, over to their foster. And you can see in all of this, care team is not involved at all. Once we get in a dog, it goes into our system. And this is our system, and I kind of wanted to show you what this looks like just so you kind of see where it all comes from. So intakes or the foster team will put in a cute dog, and then in parentheses they put placeholder, and that lets care team know that we got in a new dog and to be on the lookout for information about this dog. And as you can see, we have a lot of dogs to manage in here. So the best communication from you helps us manage this better, because when we put in a placeholder, we put in very little information. We put the dog and the foster, and that's it. So we rely on you to give us the rest of the information. So once you start fostering for us, you get this cute little email that has a really lot of information on it. So I completely understand. And what happens here is that um, this form right here is the first thing that we ask you to fill out within a day or two. And that lets care team know all of your medical information for that dog, so they can work with you to say, okay, your dog still needs X, Y, and Z, or your dog is good for right now. After about a week, we ask you, or actually 5 to 6 days, we ask you to fill this form out again, and nothing about the medical, but just now that you've gotten to know your dog, what is your dog going to need when they go into the world? What is the perfect family for this dog? And send us all those adorable pictures that you've been taking on your phone. Care team then adds all that information into your dog's file, and that gets sent out into the World Wide Web. After about a week, your dog is what we call live, unless there's a medical information or behavioral things that we need to hold your dog a little bit longer. But after about a week, your dog goes live, and it goes out to all of the adoption websites with the pictures that you've sent in and the bio that you have sent in. Those are so important, because when a person starts looking for a dog, they go to something like Adopt a Pet or that kind of stuff and look at all of these dogs that they have to look at. And this is just one page of 13 pages that are within 25 miles of my house. So they're going to look through here, and the first thing that they're going to look at is these pictures. So if you've got a really dark picture, something that's maybe not great, it's not going to speak to those people. This is a dark picture, dark background, the eyes are lit. It's a really hard picture to see what even this dog is, whereas something like this or like this, where they're smiling and happy, those are pictures that are going to draw people in. So once they see somebody that's cute and they're like, oh, I like the smile on this one, they're going to click on it to look at the other pictures that you've got here, the basic information, and then they're going to look for their story, which is their bio. What are they looking for? So this right here, this needs a family who can get them out of their shell. So maybe that's not the dog for me. So I'm going to go back and look at what else they have, and I click on Marla because she's adorable. She's got no information. So I don't know if this dog's going to be a good fit for me or not. That's why it's really important for you guys to update us with pictures and bio. Even if your dog learns a new trick, send them to us. So after about a week, they're live. They cannot go home until they've been with us for 2 weeks. The reasoning for that is mostly medical. So most diseases will show their head between 1 week and 2 weeks, and we want to catch those diseases. We also, after about a week to 2 weeks, that dog starts usually starting to feel a little bit more comfortable, so you can see their personality, and we want to make sure we see that personality in the rescue so that if they do start having behavioral issues, we can catch that before we adopt the dog out. And then as your dog gets vaccines and that kind of thing, you're going to go back to, if your dog gets spayed or neutered, any kind of vaccines, anything like that, you're going to come back to this form. And every time your dog gets a new vaccine, gets spayed or neutered, anything medical, you're going to fill that out. The reason that is so important is because if a dog is not up to date on vaccines, they cannot be adopted out. So you get a million applications, you find the perfect family for this dog, and your dog is past due on their parvo distemper vaccine. That's going to hold up the adoption on your dog. So you've got this family very excited and eager, and we're going to have to pause that adoption to get your dog up to date. Your dog can also not come to events if they're not up to date. And if there was an emergency and we had to board your dog, let's say you had to leave town unexpectedly, again, we wouldn't be able to board your dog if they weren't up to date. So that's why it's important. So look out for emails from Care Team or the adoptions email. They're the ones that are going to let you know what your dog needs. And they try to be proactive about it. Like your dog's going to need their next parvo distemper in about a week. And that's when you're going to use the Google form to request that medical appointment, because we have a whole nother team that does your medical appointments for us. We are so large that we rely on many different volunteers to do many different jobs. So it's not one job is not weighing very heavily, or many jobs are not weighing heavily on one person. We have a lot of teams that help out for this. So then the adoption team will work on your dog's application, make sure that they are who they say they are, they're allowed to have dogs, all of that stuff, and then they'll work with those adopters to finalize it. That's when we get the happy tails. So that's one of the reasons why we have so many different forms and ways to communicate with us, so that we can get the information to the right team. And the reason why we need that information in the very beginning is, as you saw, there's many different teams that help out in intaking a dog. So in the very end, you as the foster have that medical information that we need to get that dog into our system. As always, come to us if you have any questions. We're always here to help you understand this process and walk you through any steps that you don't understand. And we hope you have a great one. Thanks so much.